Last week, David Anderson and Francine Graham, who were affiliated with the Black Hebrew Israelite cult, opened fire at a kosher grocery store in Jersey City, killing 3 people. The terrorists had already killed a police officer at a nearby cemetery. The attack could have been much worse, since Anderson and Graham had a pipe bomb that they didn't get to deploy. We already posted a video of vocab explaining Hebrew Israelite doctrine and why it leads to violence. If you haven't watched it yet, be sure to check it out. The Black Hebrew Israelites are a rapidly growing cult, and much like a certain other group that we're all familiar with, the bigger it grows, the more violent it's going to become, because violence is at its core. In this video, I wanted to draw attention to a possible Islamic connection to the Jersey City shooting. There are multiple violent groups that are targeting Jews right now. Jihadis target Jews whenever possible. This isn't a recent development. The Quran calls Jews the worst of creatures and says that they're the ultimate enemies of Muslims. Muhammad also said that Muslims killing Jews is a necessary prerequisite to the final judgment. But now we're also seeing attacks on Jews by white supremacists and by the Black Hebrew Israelites. White supremacists believe that they need to get Jews out of the way because Jews are supposedly controlling things that white people are supposed to be controlling. Black Hebrew Israelites are convinced that certain racial minorities in the Americas are the true Jews, and that most of the people who claim to be Jews today are fake Jews who robbed the Hebrew Israelites of their identity and culture. What should be terrifying here is the prospect of some sort of team-up, an alliance of violence. Apart from a thirst for violence and a quest for racial or religious supremacy, jihadis, white supremacists, and Black Hebrew Israelites don't have a lot in common. However, we've seen groups that don't have a lot in common lay aside their differences to target a common enemy. For instance, leftists and Muslims are diametrically opposed in their core beliefs, and yet they're almost completely united in the West. Why? They share certain common enemies. Investigations are still ongoing in Jersey City, but based on some recent reports, we may have some sort of Islamic Hebrew Israelite alliance on our hands. CBS New York reports. A New Jersey man has been arrested after being directly connected to the 2 shooters who killed a police officer and 3 civilians in Jersey City. U.S. Attorney Craig Carpenito announced late Saturday night that Ahmed A-Hady, I wonder if that should be Al-Hadi or Abdul-Hadi. Hadi is an Arabic name, it means guide. Ahmed A-Hady has been taken into custody on felony weapons charges. The 35-year-old was linked to David Anderson and Francine Graham after police found a handwritten note that contained a telephone number in Anderson's pocket after the suspects were killed in the gun battle. That number and a Keyport, New Jersey address written on the note were both traced back to A-Hady's New Jersey pawn shop. Investigators say A-Hady is a convicted felon and, by law, not permitted to own firearms. While searching the man's shop, police uncovered an arsenal of weapons, CBS 2's Kieran Dillon reported. During the search of the pawn shop, law enforcement recovered 6 rifles, including 3 AR-15-style assault rifles, 3 handguns, and 1 shotgun, officials announced in a statement Saturday. When law enforcement moved in on A-Hady's home, they found 400 rounds of ammunition, including hollow-point bullets. The 35-year-old has been charged with being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm, which could carry a 10-year prison sentence if convicted. Authorities have not said if further charges will follow in connection to the actual Jersey City shootings on December 10th, which left Anderson, Graham, and 4 victims, including Jersey City Police Detective Joseph Seals, dead. The U.S. Attorney's Office also did not announce if it has discovered how much contact A-Hady had with the shooters before Tuesday's attack. Police are working to figure out if any of the guns the shooters used were purchased at A-Hady's pawn shop. On Sunday, CBS 2's Mark Liverman spoke exclusively with A-Hady's brother, Adhem. Liverman, did you ask your brother if he knew David Anderson or the other suspect? Adhem A-Hady, the FBI asked us while we were all here, me and my father and my brother, we asked, we'd never seen these people. They're part of the Black Israelites or something, some gang or something like that. Never heard of them, never seen anything regarding these two people. So, one of the Black Hebrew Israelite shooters in the Jersey City attack had a phone number and an address in his pocket. The phone number and address led police to Ahmed A-Hady. When police searched A-Hady's pawnshop and house, they found an arsenal of weapons. He wasn't allowed to have those weapons because he's a convicted felon. Now, I see three possibilities here. One, there may be no real connection between David Anderson, the Jersey City shooter, and Ahmed A-Hady. Maybe Anderson had the phone number in his pocket because he wanted to buy something else from the pawn shop at some point. Maybe he had purchased some fishing gear sometime earlier. Maybe there's no important connection. If that's the case, it's an amazing coincidence that A-Hady just happened to have an arsenal. Two, A-Hady could have provided the weapons without knowing what they were going to be used for. A-Hady could be an illegal weapons dealer who sold some guns to Anderson just for the money. A-Hady could have been just as shocked as everyone else to hear about the shootings. So maybe he's in trouble for the weapons, but not for any connection to the attack. Three, A-Hady could have provided the weapons knowing what they were going to be used for. Anderson may have gone looking for someone who could provide weapons to attack Jews, and someone could have said, "I know just the guy you're looking for. Here's his number and his address." Anderson could have gone there and explained what he was planning, and A-Hady could have said, "What a great idea. Here are some guns." Too soon to know which option is correct. I think the first option is the least probable. It seems very unlikely that some terrorists who died in a terrorist attack coincidentally had the phone number of an illegal weapons dealer, even though their contact with the illegal weapons dealer had nothing to do with weapons. So I'm guessing that one of the other options will turn out to be correct. What do you think? Do you think A-Hady sold Anderson the weapons he needed without knowing what he was planning to do with them? Or do you think we just witnessed an Islamic Hebrew Israelite team-up against a common enemy? Share your thoughts in the comments section, and if you see any updates on this story, let me know.